Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to this extra special episode of Radio Greenside. Today, Greensiders will be reporting on Cop26. From methane emissions to deforestation, each year group tackled a major topic and major commitment made in Glasgow, and each have some serious thoughts. So stay tuned to our thoughts on
Cop26.
Welcome to COP. Welcome to Glasgow.
We meet with the eyes of history upon us and the profound questions before us. It's simple. Will we act? Will we do what is necessary? Will we seize the enormous opportunity before us? Or will we condemn future generations?
So, first up, we've got Year 6, who are thinking closely and carefully about all of the dates and the time frames that have been talked about at COP26.
Dear world leaders, we know you have been in Glasgow talking about COP26 and we are waiting eagerly to see what decisions you've made. You have said by 2030 deforestation will end, but why does it take 3,285 days to stop it? Why not end it now? India, you've said by 2070 India will be a net emission country. Why does it take you 17,885 days? Again, end it now. Us children's lives depend on it. By 2050, it's said the planet will be as hot as South America and Africa combined. Not many people can survive that.
We are Year 6 Greenside students who care deeply for reversing climate change.
Yours sincerely, Isla and Ritage. P.S. Be the heroes you are and help save lives.
I hope you understand and give us what the world needs.
In Year 5, they looked at the complicated topic of net neutrality.
Let's talk about net neutrality. Net neutrality or carbon neutrality is a state of net zero carbon dioxide emissions. This can be achieved by balancing emissions of carbon dioxide with its removal, often through carbon offsetting, or by eliminating emissions from society. Some people call this making a transition to the post-carbon economy.
The term is used in the context of carbon dioxide processes around transportation like cars, energy production, turn off those lights, agriculture and industry. This is a complex and tough issue as carbon dioxide is so integrated in lots of parts of our society. So even though Year 5 did a huge amount of research, we couldn't find any key points from the UK leaders on any commitments for this just yet. We know that the UK plan to be carbon neutral by 2040 to 2050, which is a long time away.
Year 5 think we need to take bigger action now. We can't wait and leave it down to our children. We have to act now. All countries need to work together and we need to use less diesel.
One of the most important issues discussed at COP26 was methane emissions, and here we have Year 4 to discuss methane emissions.
Year 4 is really concerned with methane. Methane is invisible, has no scent, and is a devastating greenhouse gas. It is a huge contributor to global warming and has more powerful warming effect than carbon dioxide. The gas is responsible for a third of global warming caused by selfish humans. All around the world, about 40% of methane comes from natural sources, but a bigger percentage now comes from human activity, such as farming, food production, and rubbish dumps.
Many countries have joined the promise led by the US and European Union to cut methane emissions by 30% by 2030. However, China, Russia and India have not agreed to this. In Year 4, we think that 30% of methane emissions by 2030 is reasonable, but we think the world leaders could raise it up to 50% to really help. We also think that Russia, China and India, 3 of the biggest countries in the entire world and some of the biggest polluters, should agree to the promise. We really need to help reduce methane emissions or the consequences will be devastating, especially for our future.
Year 3 took on a big pollutant, and that's coal.
Let's talk about coal. Coal is terrible because it's releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere and this heats up the earth. This means that animal environments are changing and ice caps are melting. This causes flooding and rising sea levels. It is also damaging for our lungs.
Cop26 world leaders have pledged
to stop coal by 2030, 2040 for 40 different countries, not including China.
We don't think that's good enough. We think that instead, world leaders should start phasing out coal much sooner and that all countries should be involved. The best way to do this is to add solar panels on all public buildings and use wind power or hydroelectricity.
Year 2 did some research on fossil fuels.
What are fossil fuels? They include oil, coal, and gas. They are the remains of things that lived long ago. They get burnt to make energy and heat, but they release harmful gases into the atmosphere, which causes temperatures to keep rising. They are not renewable, so when we use them, they will be gone forever. The UK has said they will not join an alliance of countries who are phasing out fossil fuel use because they are worried it will cause problems with the energy supply to the country. I disagree with this because they should use renewable sources like solar panels and wind turbines. They should invest in inventing new renewable energy sources.
And year 1 looked at the bigger picture of global warming as a whole.
Global warming means that the world is getting warmer. This is causing problems such as floods, fires, and melting ice. This is having a huge impact on Earth.
Experts are saying that this will get a lot worse by the end of the century.
World leaders want to cap the rise in temperatures by 2030, but experts are saying that we need to do more and much sooner.
I agree with the experts because if we don't act now, the universe will be destroyed. We want a safe world for the future generations.
And last but not least, we've got nursery and reception tackling the big issue of deforestation.
In nursery and reception, we learned all about deforestation and its devastating effects. Deforestation is the cutting down of trees and the clearing of forests. At the Cop26 summit, more than 100 world leaders came together and promised to end deforestation and reverse its effects by 2030. We think it needs to happen even sooner because
the orangutans is in danger.
We need to get to give us oxygen.
Thank you to all Greenside students for their brilliant research and insights into COP26 and the state of climate change. We think big here at Greenside, and we'll be watching world leaders in the years to come, hoping that they'll think big too. One student who has thought big about climate change is Priya in year 4. She wrote a brilliant poem urging world leaders to listen to the planet. Here she is to close out our podcast with her poem, I Am the World.
I am Priya, and this is my poem about the world. I am the world, getting polluted every day with plastic all in my veins. I am the world, not finding a solution where microbeads are getting put into the fish we need, but I can't fix everything I see. I am the world, try on my shoes and see that my trees are getting destroyed and we aren't breathing oxygen like we used to. I am the world, the doomsday clock is at 7 years, and if we don't fix this now, we will all end up in tears. Have a good day.